guys, theories, also known as headcanon that we use to cope with stuff until it's revealed to us. But of course, it's a bit deeper than just headcanon because any good theory, and yes, I have to stipulate good for a reason, actually uses evidence to where it could realistically be true. I myself have tried my hand at theory crafting a few times. In fact, I have a whole playlist on the channel just full of them, right there for you to enjoy after this video, of course. And let me tell you, as somebody who makes theories, it feels so good when your theory turns out to be correct, especially if you had haters in the comments saying that that was stupid and it can never happen. But today, I'm not bringing you a theory of my own, though I am due for a theory video soon. Let me table that. Today, I'm going to be giving my opinion on other people's theories. And those other people are going to be the lovely humans over at WatchMojo, a YouTube channel priding itself as the ranking authority of pop culture. Their words, not mine. Because a few months ago, they dropped a video titled Top 10 Mind-Blowing One Piece Fan Theory. And I thought I would give my own opinions on whether these are indeed mind-blowing fan theories, and whether I agree with them or not. But before we get to criticizing a YouTube channel that's much bigger than me, y'all, please help me reach them. Like the video, very important. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content just like this every week. Oh, and share it around with all your friends who love the series. You know what we always say here, let's get it going. Well, make sure you subscribe to me and my boys over at CSY. We're quickly approaching 10K. Now, starting us off at number 10, we have a theory that's as old as, well, Impel Down, Crocodile. If you're even remotely online in the One Piece sphere, you would have heard of this theory, which essentially states that Crocodile used to be a woman, had interactions with Dragon, birthed Luffy, and then changed sexes from woman to man using Ivanka's Horohoronomi. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I actually get behind the first idea of this theory, the part about how Crocodile used to be a woman and Ivankov is the one who changed him. With what we know about Crocodile and Ivankov's relationship from Impel Down, how Ivankov had this secret that would shut Crocodile up, I'm just like, what else could it possibly be? We had just met Ivankov and just in maybe the chapter prior seen his ability to turn people's sexes. Some people will point to the kid version of Crocodile that Oda put in the SBS and be like, well, that's clearly a boy, but I mean, I don't know. I will say that you can't tell just from this. But for that to then inform him being Luffy's mother, no. Then people will say, well, just look at Marineford. After the world learns about Luffy's connection to Dragon, suddenly Croc is trying to help him. I'm just like, no. For one, Crocodile already had his own agenda while he was there, and it just made more sense for him to team up with the Alliance, especially because the guy who gave him an ass beating back in the day, Whitebeard, was there. Also keep in mind that Crocodile already knows what Luffy's full name is because everywhere Luffy goes, he keeps shouting his full government. And then also it just becomes hard to track the pieces because like when would they have met with Dragon and like had stuff, and then like what happened where they separated? Like, it's just too complicated. Speaking of parents though, the next one also has to do with family relations. Because at number 9 we have Rox is Dragon's father. And what? Well, it's based on the nitpick that Garp never calls him directly his son, leading them to believe that it's possible that Dragon got the monkey D part of his name from his mother, and his mother is Garp's child, while his father was Rox. And again, I'm not gonna lie, to me, this one's just stupid. Putting aside that we literally see in a recent God Valley flashback chapter, Dragon referring to Garp as his dad multiple times, and putting aside the fact that Rox said he only had one kid, and that was Blackbeard, and that was 1 year before God Valley, by which time Dragon was already 16 years old, and the fact that Oda literally introduces Rox as only the father of Blackbeard, their reasoning for this is just too weak. According to them, Rox's namesake is supposedly a guy by the name of Rock or Roche Brasiliano, some Dutch pirate who nobody has ever heard of before. And the fact that his name is Brasiliano and Oda said that Luffy, if he was in the real world, would be from Brazil is apparently enough for them. Well, it's not for me. The next theory also has to do with Luffy, because number 8 we have Law is going to make Luffy immortal. Now, in comparison to the previous two, this one isn't as crazy considering the importance of the immortality surgery. However, I'd say that it depends on what you think the point of Oda introducing that surgery to us was. See, some people believe that it's for future use, so they'll say that Law is going to use it on someone in the future, likely Luffy, to save him. But I don't really believe that for 2 reasons. The first is that operation kills you, and I don't think Oda wants Law to die. Especially because the whole crux of his character was about Doflamingo wanting him to use the immortality surgery on him, and Law being like, no, because I want to live and do my own thing. As well as just the fact that Law is too popular of a character for Oda to kill him off. And then the second reason is that people are gonna say, well, it's gonna make Luffy immortal, but y'all, immortal is really the wrong word we should be using for this. The power makes one more everlasting. It's not like if this surgery is done on you, you can just regenerate from anything, you'll be invincible, you'll never take damage. That's not the case. It more affects bodily things, like you won't die from aging or perhaps like diseases. If you jump into a volcano, you will still die. Well, actually, this is the One Piece world, so maybe not. I believe that it was introduced because of its bearing on the past, as I believe that Emu is actually going to soon be revealed to be a recipient of the surgery, and that's why they've lived on from the 4th century so long. Because some would claim that, oh no, but that's because of their demon powers, but I think that that's something separate. Moving on to number 7 in WatchMojo's list of mind-blowing One Piece fan theories, we got Luffy and Shanks will have a Davy back. Now, fair enough, I'd say that this is the first one where I wholeheartedly actually believe it will happen. I just think it makes so much sense in the context of Luffy being a great pirate and proving himself to his mentor, the person who set him on this journey in the first place. Now, I have in the past made a video talking about why I believe it's gonna happen in Elbaf, which I'm not gonna lie, is starting to look less and less likely just based on the way the Elbaf arc is currently panning out. But I do think that at some point, a Davy back between their crews is practically guaranteed. I mean, you have the fact that that's literally what Luffy's goal is. He said, I'm going to create a crew better than yours. You got Usopp and Yasop going against each other, and you have like emotional stuff there. Finally getting to see how Ben Beckman fights. And then of course the long-awaited reunion of Luffy and Shanks as equals, because they'd both be emperors at that point. And Luffy finally being able to give the hat back to Shanks. Temporarily, because I then believe that Shanks is going to get killed by Blackbeard, but that's a topic for another day. It seems like WatchMojo can't get enough of Law, because at number 6, we have Law is a part of Sword. And this one, I just don't think so, because Law has too many moments of him being a genuine pirate for him to secretly be undercover. Plus, we know the origin of the Heart Pirates. Immediately after he left the Doflamingo family, that's when he, Chachi, Penguin, and Beppo came together and formed the Heart Crew. They literally grew up together. I also think the fact that he's researching the Will of D, which is something the world government explicitly said is taboo, also paints him in this light. I think the reason that people still hold out some sort of hope is because of the connection of Law and Drake on Wano and how Drake let him out. But I see this more as the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal. And we know Drake does, because that's what he literally says when he comes out to the rest of them on Onigashima. Listen, I'm a Marine, y'all are pirates, but right now we're all trying to take out Kaido. They also mentioned the Rocky Port incident, saying that Kobe, another Sword member, was present. So it could have been Sword sending the two of them as operatives. I low-key forgot about that, but it actually confirms that he isn't a Marine, because Law was made a warlord by doing that. They were shocked at the fact that he was offering up them hearts. You could try to argue that Kuma was in a similar situation and they still made him a warlord, but it's so different because that was a power play. Switching gears to another character now, at number 5, we got Blackbeard eating 3 fruits. This is another one that I think is almost guaranteed to happen. Of course, Blackbeard's whole motif is in 3s. He has 3 skulls on his Jolly Roger, 3 teeth configurations, 3 pistols on his person, potentially even 3 souls in his body. And to this day, we're still confused on this whole 3 thing. It would pay off the fact that we were always told that his body is irregular, and we'd actually be able to see, okay, what's the deal with this? Maybe we could see what was the method that he used to get Whitebeard's fruit from him. Plus, I also think that he's just not strong enough to deal a proper threat to Luffy as is, so I think a 3rd fruit would actually push him over that edge. And it also makes sense for it to be a mythical zone, since that way he would have one of the strongest of each class of devil fruit. Side note, for everyone saying that the Cerberus fruit would be perfect for him, I also used to believe so, but unfortunately that option is no longer available since Shamrock's sword has that fruit. Now lock in for this one, because at number 4 we just have the left eye theory. Now this is a complex theory that I remember a Japanese YouTuber came up with, and it was like multiple hours long. Then Ohara actually translated and popularized it as far as the English sphere. But basically it states that Laugh Tale and the One Piece is hidden in the left eye of Jaya, since Jaya as a skull landmass was missing that part of its eye as, you know, the pieces got separated. With the reasoning being numerous references to left eye scars in One Piece, which to be fair is valid because there's a lot both in universe and also just in the meta. So they're saying that while we know that the right side got shot up into the sky via the knockup stream, the left side actually sank beneath the waves. And maybe that's what the hole under Eni's lobby is housing. It's a good theory, but I just don't know if I believe it personally. I would bet that something important is under Eni's lobby, but also Laugh Tale? I don't think so. Only because how would it be there when we know it's somewhere in the New World? Okay, to be fair, we don't know that it's somewhere in the New World, but I feel like that's only the right expectation to have considering where we are at this point in the story. Because I mean, like, are we gonna trace our way all the way back to Eni's lobby for it? I don't know. But if you thought we were done talking about theories revolving around major locations, you're wrong. Because at number 3 we have the red line is going to fall. And for what it's worth, I do think this one is true. For one, I talk about this in the theory video I made a while back about what Luffy's true dream is, and low-key also in the mural breakdown video. But I think that part of the One Piece is actually just the world itself being connected and whole again, where the red line actually fractured it, so it being brought down, it will actually allow its pieces to come back together and be one piece. And that'll make it much easier for everybody to come and actually be together in community, which is what I think part of Luffy's true dream actually is. Plus the fact that doing so would actually destroy Fishman Island, which Shirali predicted Luffy would do. But then of course the people are going to be saved because of the Noah and Shirahoshi, which also is good because they always wanted people to be brought up to the sun. I mean, that was Otohime's wish, Fisher Tiger's wish for coexistence, and I'm assuming that that's even what Joy Boy's apology to the Mermaid Princess was for. Plus, I think that the red line was man-made anyway, and therefore it needs to be taken down in order for the world to return to its natural state. I mean, think about it. We know that those island whales are always bashing their heads against the red line. Why do you think that is? I would guess that it's because it wasn't supposed to be there, and it being there is actually blocking their natural migration patterns. And for the cherry on top, it also ties into allowing some of the other Straw Hats to complete their dreams too. Sanji finding the all blue, allowing Nami to freely navigate to draw her map of the world, and even Brook seeing Laboon again. So this is a yay for me. But tying into the last theory, this one is actually pertinent to that conversation. Because at number 2 we have Luffy's hidden dream. We all already know that becoming the Pirate King is not Luffy's dream. It's his goal in order to achieve his dream. And whatever it is something that Roger also shared, because we saw that Odin and Whitebeard had the same reaction that Ace, Sabo, and the Straw Hats did. And here WatchMojo posits the whole world's largest party idea. And here's my thing. I think that that's part of it. I think there definitely will be a party, but that's just going to be a derivative of Luffy's main goal, which is just being able to unify everybody and go on adventures with everybody, creating a huge world where everyone can just continuously explore with a diverse group of people, because that's what it's like to be free. And the fact that the old world all used to be connected by different land masses and now they're just sunk beneath the waves, I think Luffy would want to return to that because that allows for endless journeying. But even that theory pales in comparison to what WatchMojo believes is number 1. One Piece is Binkx's sake. Yes, you heard me right. The drink. Essentially, it's the idea that when Roger and his crew arrived at Laugh-Tale, what they saw there was just a bottle of sake. And this stems from the fact that Binkx's sake or Binkx's brew is probably the most important song in just the entirety of One Piece, both in universe to the characters as well to us for, theory crafting, because its lyrics can even imply certain things about the subtext of the story. And I mean, hey, listen, if I circumnavigated the globe multiple times and fought all of the strongest people on the seas, I finally arrive at my end goal and just see a bottle of a mid drink, you know what, I may laugh from the hysteria too. And of course, sake is also symbolically one of One Piece's greatest connectors. But with all that being said, I don't believe it. At least I don't think it can just be that. I think that at this point, the story has spiraled so large that it can't only be that. I think that it would be symbolically fitting for it to be set on top of like mounds and heaps of gold and ancient trinkets and stuff like that. And I mean, Oda already told us that they're gonna find some actual stuff there. In the very least, everything that Joy Boy had and probably most of what Roger had. But y'all, I want to hear what you think about these theories. Do you believe any of these to be true? Are there any theories of your own that you think should have been included in this list? Or just want me to comment on? Make sure to let me know all that good stuff and more in the comments. That is the end of the video, but before we go, like it, subscribe, share it around with all your friends who love the series. Remember, I'm trying to build a community here, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all from me. I'll catch you on the next one, and always remember, One Piece, One Life.